is Valin from Uganda, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you all to our live broadcast, 6 Degrees of Connection on ALLATRA TV Africa. The 6 Degrees of Connection is part of a global project, Creative Society, on the platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement. It is implemented in more than 180 countries and by volunteers in order to find out how people envision a creative society. We may ask, what is the creative society? It is a society where all people, without exception, live a fulfilled life with the best human, where the best human qualities prevail. Our conversation will be with creative society in mind. And my co-host for today is Shalom from Nigeria. Hello, Shalom.
Hi, Valin. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on another session of asking about creative society in our world. Every time we hold a live conversation, it is an opportunity to meet interesting people and test the theory of the 6 handshakes. We are still going to discuss further in this interview. Connected by no more than 6 social connections. It is really amazing how this works. Our participants for today's conversation are 3 students and a teacher from 2 countries, Nigeria and Uganda. Nigeria is in West Africa, Uganda is in East Africa. And we'll be discussing the African movement, and our topic is environment is our responsibility. It's nice to meet you guys. Please welcome our dear guest.
Nice to meet you too.
Shafiu Aminu from
Salud.
Shafiu Aminu.
Thank you.
Please welcome our dear guest, Shafiu Aminu from Nigeria, and he's a student of geology. Habibu Umar, also from Nigeria, is an agricultural science student. Lemeriga Andrew, also from Uganda, is an English stroke literature teacher. Dear friends, welcome to our live conversation. It's a great pleasure to have you join us today.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be also part of the Creative Society.
Thank you to Salum. Nice to have you. Thank you very much for welcoming us in this association, I can call it.
Yeah, going to play.
Oh, sorry about that. Just before we start, I'd like to tell our viewers how they too can be part of our broadcast. Everyone is welcome to join our live conversation. All you have to do is leave your comments in our YouTube chat, share and invite your friends. And of course, we welcome any questions you may have at the end of the program. At the end, we shall try to answer some of them.
Okay, thank you, Valin, once again. So let us start with Mr. Shafiu Aminu from Nigeria, who is a student of geology. What a wonderful course, studying about rocks, the earth, the land mass. We welcome you, Mr. Shafiu. Yeah. Tell us what you do as an ambassador of Action Group.
All right, welcome,
Mr. Shafiu.
Yes, I'm heading. Welcome and nice to meet you. As you said, I'm Shafiu Aminu from Nigeria, but an agricultural student, not sociology, not geology, as you said. Actually, I'm an ambassador of Climate Action Group, which is Global Youth Climate Action Initiative, a global organizations that primarily focus on climate action and sustainable development. I'm an ambassador, and this organization is existing in almost over six, 60 countries, including in Nigeria and in my state as well. And in my state, Sokoto State, I'm one of the experts, or let me say, one of the leaders leading the organization and even the secretary of the organization. We are primarily focused on climate action and sustainable development, which is our mission is to create awareness, sensitize and mobilize young people in taking a positive action for global climate justice in order to have an eco-friendly world where both the present and the future generation will enjoy protected and have a healthy environment for sustainable development. Actually, we are carrying out a lot of programs toward mitigation the climate change and sustainable development in our environment. Actually, so far now, we are conducting a tree planting campaign across the 23 local government of my state, which is also carried out in all the 36 states of Nigeria. Here in Sokoto State, it has about 23 local governments, and we are conducting a tree planting campaign of planting 2,000 tree seedlings in each of the local governments towards mitigation climate change in order to prevent the desert encroachment, erosion, flooding, and others. And we have succeeded. We have succeeded in about in almost about, let me say, 4 local governments. Even tomorrow, Sunday, we are going to inaugurate another campaign in one local government, which is the local government where we are going to plant 2,003 citizens also. And actually, as a creative environment, we are working hand in hand with various agencies, including the state government, because this is an idea which we, the leaders, or which we that we are leading this climate action group in Sokoto State, we come up because we have realized that in our state we are facing a lot of climate action challenges. And we now realize that most of these issues are happening due to lack of awareness illiteracy, or lack of instant protect by our community, which is leading them towards destroying our forest and indiscriminate cutting down of trees. When we realize that, we now sit down and unanimously agree that the best thing we should do is to let us make our community understand that these trees that they are indiscriminately cutting down, they are resources and they have to protect them, because trees they are contributing, or they are playing a major role that their roles cannot be even overemphasized toward the environmental development. We actually engage in creating awareness in order to make them understand that trees are very important and trees are also part of our life. In fact, if there's no tree, there's no life, because trees, they are contributing a lot. We establish a lot of seminars and presentation based on indiscriminate trees, and also meet some various agencies, as I said before, even the state government. When we meet them concerning our creative, based on what you call it, creative environment, that to have a creative environment, when a member, or when a woman of the community have an idea, and he was being opportune, or he was being listening, his idea has been listened and analyzed, and you can call it a creative environment. What about a situation where somebody has an idea, but he was not being able to listen, or his idea was not being analyzed, but just disgraced, or just was not being, what do you call it, his idea was not being recognized. That's why we cannot call it environment. We cannot call it a creative environment. But for our own here, I can call it a creative environment, because we have an idea, and when we meet our elders, including agency and the state government, we told them this is our idea. This is the idea we got of tree planting campaign. And this idea, if it is implemented, it will help in mitigating the climate change which is worsening us in this state. And the state, in fact, under the state government, under the Ministry of Environment, the Commissioner of Environment was very happy and delighted with this idea that we have brought up, and he also assures us the full support toward achieving our aims. In fact, now I'm telling the state government, because of this effort, the state government has also launched a campaign of almost 2,000, planting of 2,000 tree seedlings across the states. And the state government is collaborating with us because they have realized that we are doing a lot. We are discharging we are discharging an effort toward the development of our society. They now see that this is a welcome address. They impressed by what we are doing, and they are assuring us that they are going to render us all the necessary support we need toward achieving our aims. And now, so far, I can say that we have planted more than 20,000 tree seedlings across the state. And in fact, all those trees that we planted, almost 80% have already developed. And we are still doing that, and the state government is still on our hand or still on our side, helping us and providing us all the necessary support we need. As a youth, wherever we go, so that as a youth, you have a responsibility that you have for the environment, to the development of society. I can say that each individual in society has a part to play in a group or groups. That means that each society, any society that you belong to, you have a responsibility that you can play, which will lead to the development of your society. And as a person, yeah, you are very important no matter which role you play. You cannot maybe in a society. Each and every member of the society is very important, no matter the role he plays for the development of the society. And also as an individual, as a man. Another man is you can call it is a social animal that need to learn. Therefore, for a successful or for a creative environment, the youth, or let me say the woman or the members of the society have to be educated because they are social animals that they need to be learned. Because without being educated or provided with a quality educated, they will not be able to exploit the potential or the skills and the talent they have for the development of their environment. And also, as a member of a community, or as a member, or as an individual, no, I can say that no individuals can possess all the necessary equipment for all rules. As a member, you cannot consider yourself that all the necessary things needed for a development or for a development of a society that we have. It cannot be possible. You have what you have, and others have what they have. Therefore, for successful development or sustainable development of the society or environment, it has to be a collective effort that must that everyone must to come in, because each and every person who has his own skill naturally born with, that if he was
I think we lost Shafiu. Okay, let me ask Habibu.
given a chance, and Abia he was thinking he was, and so far, hello,
Shafiu, we had lost you for a bit.
hello,
We had lost you for a bit.
okay,
We had lost you for a bit, but you can conclude now, please.
okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can
Hello,
hear you.
you are not hearing
Yes.
me? Okay. What I'm saying, I say that as a community member or as a youth, in fact, I am, you have a responsibility, or let me say, each and every individual in the society has a responsibility or has a role to play toward the development of his society. Each individual has a part to play in a group or group toward the development of society, no matter which group or which society you belong to. Each individual has a talent or skill that he was being born with, that I can say if he was being given a privilege and chance to exploit it, it will improve the living standard of his community. And each individual is also very important, no matter which role he plays. And also, like an individual, or let me say the human being are social animals, as I said before, that they have to learn on how to function on their society. Therefore, education needs to be given to a member of the society in order so that the talent and all the skills that they were been born with, they will be able to exploit it toward the development of their society. As you have said before, as I'm an ambassador of a climate action. Climate action is a global
Shafiu.
organization, not as global on climate action. We engage on sensitization, mobilization, and empowering young people taking a positive action for global climate justice in order to achieve eco-friendly world where both the present and the future generations will enjoy, protect, and have a healthy environment for sustainable development. Here in Africa and my country, I can say we have been worsening by climate change, which is caused by so many factors, including deforestation. And this deforestation is one of the major challenges causing global
Okay. I think Shafiu's network is not very good. Let me ask the next person. Habibu, are you with us? Hello,
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yes,
to
I
the,
can hear you.
You're welcome to the broadcast. And
Thank
I'd like to ask you, in your opinion, how do you envision us how do you envision us treating the environment in a creative society? How do you see us treating the plants, the trees, the animals in that ideal society? To you, Habibu.
Yes, I'm with you, but it's like it's that line you are broken. Can you please, repeat what you?
Okay. The question is, in your opinion, how do you envision us treating the environment around us?
our vision is our vision is not
I think the question is for me, but it's not yet
to make
clear.
our young people. Okay. He said to
Hello,
make.
Shafiu?
Hello, are you hearing me?
Shafiu?
Are you?
Hello, Shafiu.
Shafiu is like she is asking me a question, but it's not yet clear to me. Can you please repeat
Hello?
that question?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shafiu, for sharing with us. We had lost you a bit, and thank you for your insight. I liked what you said about how each of us has a role to play in the creative society, which is very true. Now, my question is for Habibu. So, Habibu, I wanted to ask, in your opinion, how do you see us treating our environment in the creative society?
Okay. First of all, I thank you very much to be part of these discussions. Many things have been done earlier, and this is my first time to do such kind of thing. So I know you have to bear with me. First of all, I have to find what environment is all about. Many people from different fields of knowledge define environment differently. For me, I can say environment is a place where different things are. These things can be living or non-living. Most of the things that are causing problems in the environment are anthropogenic activities, things that are caused by human activities. So there are a lot that we can contribute for better environment or better society in particular. One of these things that we can do to build or improve a better environment is to create awareness, as my brother just said. We need to tell people about the importance of the environment. There are many things that are bad habits and we are always doing them, so we need to stop them. I want to mention some of the few things that are causing a lot of problems to the environment or the planet Earth we are living in general. One of these things that I want to mention is improper waste disposal. We are not the only life living on the earth or on the environments where we are. There are other animals that are also having lives. So improper ways of disposal is causing a lot of harm, a lot of hazard to both human and other animals. So we have to inform other people around us the effects of improper waste disposal to the environment, to our health condition. That's one thing I want to talk on. And the other thing I would like to call our attention on is deforestation. We are always having a climate change everywhere in the world. Deforestation is one of the causes of this climate change. In many parts of the country, in many parts of the world, including my country, Nigeria, we are always having deforestation, cutting down of our trees without good replacement. And this is causing a lot of harms to our health condition. So all I want to say here is to tell people the importance of the environment. So I don't know if I have answered your question or you have more things to ask me.
Okay, thank you, Habibu. What a wonderful insight on the challenges facing our environment, especially improper waste disposal. I've noticed like one of the things that contributes to flooding, especially here in my country, Nigeria, and even in Africa and some parts of the world, is because of the improper waste disposal, improper segregation of waste. And you will see that when you go out, you see different PET bottles, which are also known as plastic bottles, lying on the road, lying inside the drainage, and thereby preventing free flow of water. So now I want to go to Mr. Lemeriga from Uganda. I'm going to ask you a question now. Everyone wants to live in a healthy, happy environment. Is there anything we need to change so that we could have a society of happy people? Mr. Lemeriga, this question
Please unmute your microphone.
is for you.
Yes, hello. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm Lemeriga Andrew. I'm from Uganda, but currently I'm not there. I came to South Sudan. I think this is a very important topic that the creative society is getting us into. Every one of us is entitled to that kind of freedom as a human being and as a person. We're entitled to that kind of freedom. And we are also entitled, as said before, to a very good environment. Unfortunately, when we look around, we realize that actually our environment is not what we would call home. As said before, there's a lot of pollution here and there. There's a lot going on that destroys the environment. And most of us are falling victims. We are victims of this destruction. That is why you see the floods everywhere. Right now where I am in South Sudan, there's no flood, but in the other part of the country, there's a lot of flooding. You see, this is all because of the environmental destruction that is going on. Now, as a people, I believe what creative society is doing is the right thing, to educate people on the values and the importance of the environment we live in. And I think it is everyone's responsibility, each and every one of us, to take care of the environment that we live in. Because if we do not do that, if we don't acknowledge that our life actually is dependent on this environment, then it becomes hard for a person to take care of the environment, because he or she does not understand that actually it is the environment that sustains him, and he or she needs to take care of it. So I think those challenges are there. And I have seen it. I've seen it where I am. I've seen it. I've seen it in other places where I've been. I've seen the destruction that has been levied on the environment. So I think as a human being, we can live free when also our environment is able to sustain us. If we are also able to take care of the environment, then living free becomes what can be seen. But without taking care of the environment, I think even life itself on that particular environment that has not been taken care of by us, which is our responsibility, becomes very hard. So our role, which is very important, is to let people know that actually the environment plays a very important role in making sure that we live in a free society. Thank you.
Thank you all for your really interesting answers. It's nice to hear and learn from all of you. Habibu, what should our attitude to the environment be like in a creative society? Is it the same? Should we have the same attitude that we do in the current society, or it has to change? And what attitude change is that we need to have about our environment? Habibu? Habibu, please turn on your microphone. Yes.
Berlin?
Yes.
Hello, Berlin? Yes, I always find it difficult to hear from you. I don't know, is it the network problem or what? Can you please take that question again?
It's okay, it's okay. What should our attitude to the environment be like in the creative society? What should our attitude to the environment be like in the creative society?
Okay, Berlin?
Yes, Habibu, can you hear me?
Not really. Can you? I don't know if someone that heard you better maybe can read the questions. Is there anyone that heard her?
Habibu, I'll ask you this question. Okay, can you hear me? Hello, Habibu.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the question that Valin asked you.
She asked.
Okay. Yes, she said, what should our attitude to the environment be like in a creative society?
Okay. Is that the questions? Okay. As I have stated earlier, the environment is very critical issue. It is very important to our life, and the most important thing that we can do and anybody else can do is to make awareness. A lot of people, they don't know what they are doing is bad. It's really bad to the environment. So as I said, the most important thing is creating awareness, educating people, telling them what to do and what not to do. there are a lot of things that are causing a lot of problems to the environment. I just mentioned, two out of many. In the first place, I mentioned improper waste disposal, and I also mentioned deforestation. Okay, that's not the only thing. We have what we call global warming, which my brother has said a little about it earlier. Some things are unavoidable factors, because we know we are always doing bush burning in countries like Africa, like country I'm living in, Nigeria. This bush burning is another bad habit that causing a lot of changes and damages to the environment. In bush burning, many things occur which are bad. Number one, we are destroying the other animals that are living in the bush, which are in one way or the other important to our life. That's one. Number two, when we are burning our bushes in a way that is not supposed to be done, we are always bringing more of carbon dioxide to the environment or to the atmosphere. And as we all know, this carbon dioxide is very bad to our health condition, and it's always going up, affecting the ozone layer. That's why we are always having changes in the global, always global climate change is increasing. And then apart from that, some things has to be done. Something has to be done, like use of what we call it, knowing how to deal with our renewable resources. And then when in the other hand, poverty is contributing also to this, because in developed country they are not they are not longer using fuel as we are consuming it in Nigeria and some other African countries, which we know whenever we are burning fuel or firewood, there will be a gases, and these gases contain a lot of carbon dioxide. As I stated earlier, other people have no option than to use the kerosene and then maybe petrol and gas. So I think if we can achieve an environment that will be using much of solar, like solar energy, it will also help to have a better environment, to have a better environment in that way. And I think this is what I can say about your question, Vali.
That's a really good answer, Habibu. Yes, I also agree that we need to use more solar energy and utilize the resources that we have in a way that's good for the environment. Lemeriga, one of the 8 foundations of the creative society, creative ideology. I'd like to read a part of it and you can comment. You think life and relationship with that environment? What do you think life and relationship with that environment would look like if the creative ideology was in place?
Valen, sorry, I heard your last words, but I didn't hear in the beginning. Yes, please. Valen, could you say again? I didn't hear the last words, please. Habib, did you hear? Can you repeat for me?
I didn't get what she said. It's like the network from Berlin side is really bad. She's always broken. It is bad line from her side.
Okay, Shalom, please help with the Hello?
Yes, please. Yes, Valen, yes. Could you come again?
Do you think life and relationship with that environment would be like with a creative ideology in place?
Okay. What do I think our relationship to the environment will be like in the creative society. Thank you. Our relationship, what I see in the creative society, our relationship to the environment will be that of taking care of the environment. With the understanding that environment is our responsibility. We need to take care of it because it is our responsibility and it is what sustains us. Well taken care of environment means that life is sustained and that also life is enjoyed. So I see a very close relationship between life and environment because our life will depend on the quality of environment that we have. The kind of environment that is not all the things that harm our environment that were mentioned by Habib. I don't see those things happening in the creative society. I see a very clean environment that all of us take care of because it is our responsibility. And I also think that it is within us to make sure that people understand that people understand that when we take care of the environment, we actually take care of ourselves. A contaminated environment, an environment that is not healthy, means also we don't have a healthy life. So I think our role is to make sure that people understand that people understand that it is us who should take care of the environment and make sure that we do things that actually make the environment better, like planting trees is a very important thing, and desisting from bush burning, just as mentioned before, and many of these things that contaminate the environment, like cutting trees. Instead of planting, you're cutting trees, you see. Those things. And also there's a lot of wetland where people are occupying wetlands. Seen that even where I am. People are occupying wetlands, and that in itself is also destroying the environment. You're seeing streams are drying, where you used to see a very large stream, it's no longer the way it used to be. That in itself is because of the way people are constantly occupying wetlands. You see where there was maybe a small forest, it's no longer there, it is cleared. Why? Because people are burning charcoal. So it's a whole chain of activities that hamper our environment. And I think what we need to do is to make sure that people understand that and take care of the environment. And then in the creative society, we will be able to see the kind of environment that actually sustains us. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lemeriga, for that insightful answer, talking about tree planting, which helps us in conservation of energy. And it actually prevents the sun rays from penetrating our skins directly. So now we go to Shaifu. Shaifu, you have been involved in tree planting exercises or tree planting efforts in Nigeria, and I'm really glad you are into that. So how can we change people's consumerist orientation to one of a creative society? Shaifu.
All right. The best way is to to orient it to what do you call it, to create an awareness. That's the best thing first. By creating awareness, that is the time that you will make them understand that this particular activity which they are engaged into is good or bad. Because no matter how you are conducting a particular activity or exercise on a particular community, without making the community aware of the importance of that exercise you are conducting, it will not be useful to them because they will not take it very serious. But once you make them understand that this kind of activities they are engaging in or they engage into, it has an effect to their environment through creating awareness, sensitization, and mobilizing or empowering them. That is that is the only thing that will make you succeed on that. That's why our organization engages mostly in creating awareness. Before we engage into practical activity, we must to ensure that we oriented or we orient the community which we are going to carry out our planting exercise. Because after that, when we do that, the time that will come for planting exercise will massively support us. And they will even assure us that they are going to, because they have already understand the environment. I think it's clear.
You've muted your mic, Suku.
About that. Thank you, Shafiu, so much for sharing about that. It's important to create awareness for people to know that they need before you, instead of just telling them what they should do. The 8 foundations of the Creative Society, which we have already mentioned, are described on the Allatraunites website. They are human life, human freedom, human safety, transparency and openness for information for all, the creative ideology, development of personality, justice and equality, and self-governing society. Habibu, which foundation would you like to comment on? Habibu, please unmute your microphone.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can I? Valine, are you with me?
Yes, Habibu, we can hear you.
Okay. I want to talk on human life. Human life is the most valuable things on the earth. It's more important than any other thing. There are many things that we always need in life. I want to mention some of these things that are very essential to our life. One of it is education and freedom. I don't know, under human life, there will be many things. So I'm not debating from what I'm talking on. I'm talking about human life in particular. I think there are many things that are needed or that are essential to human life. One of these things is education. A human needs to be an educated person, and this cannot be done by one person. The environment or the population or the society has a lot to contribute. The government has a lot to contribute. And with a person, a good education, you have assisted his life in any place, any country. Education is the most important thing that we all need. When you give a person, when you educate a person, you have assisted his life to any place, any country. And then secondly, we need our security. We need to be safe in our environment. We need to be safe anywhere on the earth. We don't need to be afraid of anything. So we need safety. And And we also need what we call it shelters. We need shelters, and this can be provided by our government. So anything we actually lacks, most of these things that are very essential to our life, especially education. Many of us are not educated, not because we don't want to be educated, but because we don't have the means, we don't have the money to go to school, or we don't have the money to sponsor our younger ones to go to school. And there are a lot of people that are rich. They are rich enough to help others that are. You have enough that you can assist another person, maybe your neighbor or your relatives, but you are not doing that. People always concentrate to help their, childs, or governments always concentrate to help very few people. And when you don't give a person, you don't help somebody to become educated, and you are always focusing on your brothers or sisters. One day, the person that has not been helped by you will be the one that will disturb you. So that's what you see in this country. I can mention example with my country, Nigeria, where I know much. Many things are happening in this country. Like let me say something like insecurity. To me, what I believe, this insecurity is caused by injustice. That's my belief, and nothing can stop it if justice is not done in this country. I'm sorry if the word I'm bringing is harsh or something like that, but I believe justice is the key for success. When you do justice for people, there must be a success. So justice is not being doing, people are not doing justice. We are not doing justice to ourselves, and our governments are not doing justice for us. I can mention example to testify what I'm saying. Now, you see, there are a lot of people, as I said earlier, that need to go to school, but they don't have the means. Maybe they don't have the money, and there are a lot of people that have a lot of children that they want their children to go to school, but they don't have the money to sponsor those children to go to school. Our government is aware. Wealthy people are aware of those child. What do you think? And there are a lot of people that are educated. They are educated. They deserve to have things to do in life, but people are not helping them. When you give a person education, and educate somebody cannot stay idle. When you teach me how to do something I am qualified to eat, then you are not offering me what else to do. Of course, I must create something that maybe is bad to do. So our life is the most valuable. Our life is very important. We need to help ourselves. We need to help the people, the government, consider our life as important. Thank you.
Thank you, Habibu, for sharing with us about human life. I can see that it's really important, and education it really resonates with you. And thank you for that insight. Shaifu, in brief, which foundation resonates for you?
Hello. Are you hearing me? Okay, actually, I will talk on freedom, human freedom. Actually, as a citizen or as a member of a community, for a creative environment on a particular community, there must be a human freedom. Because no matter what the environment, if there is no freedom, the execution of any ideas by the society or by the member of the community cannot be realized. Because it's all the activities or all the other activities or ideas that an individual or a member of the society that and wish or have interest in implementing his idea toward the development of his community or society, that can only be achieved if he has a freedom for that. What I mean by freedom for that, that you must be you must be safeguarded. It's part of, as one of my, as what one of my colleagues said, that there must be a security. Security, if there's security, I can say, in the absence of security, there will not be a freedom. In a situation whereby crises are, where crises are occurring, especially in this part of my country, those people in that community, even if they say they have an ideas or that they want to execute it for the sustainability and the development of their community, due to that issue of insecurity, they will not be able to execute or carry out those ideas into practice for the development. That's why it's very important to have it's very important to have a freedom and security in the society, because without that, there will not be. I don't think there will be any development that can maybe that any development that can occur in that particular society. And also, there would be what we call now, what we call transparency. Transparency also is very important issue. That if there's a transparency, especially on government, it will encourage the community. I'll give you a reference. Between my organization and my state government here, there's transparency on their activities on environmental. Because what the Ministry of Environment used to do, all their activities related to the environment here in my state, they used to call us. We sit down and discuss on all the issues or all the programs we want to execute. This transparency, and also you have to ensure that all the environmental activities they want to implement it, they divided them equally, or they divide the opportunity equally to all the local government in the state. Because of transparency, that we, or I can say that my organization is aware of all the activities, transparency and the openness of the information that make my organizations aware of all the activities that is going to be conducted by the Ministry of Environment in my states, because they offer all their information or all the project or the programs they want to execute or they want to carry out in my state. They will call us, sit down and tell us this is our programs, this is what we want to implement. And if we implement these programs, it is going to contribute to what particular things, or it's going to improve the living standard of the people in social area. And in fact, because of this transparency, it also a transparency and openness of the information by the Ministry of Environment in my state. It encourages us and even persuade us to engage deeply toward humanitarian activities. Hello?
Okay, thank you everyone for being part of this. Lemeriga, before I had chosen for you the creative ideology to talk about, but now you have
Come again, please, Marlene. Thank you so much. There's an echo in the background.
Okay.
I'm hearing.
Okay, I'll take over from Celine. So now, Lemeriga,
Yes.
previously creative ideology was chosen for you to talk about, but now you are given the freedom to choose one out of the 8 foundations of the creative society. So which one resonates with you.
Okay. The 8 values of the creative society will be the most important, I think, which is mentioned by Habib earlier on, is human life. All of us acknowledge that the human life is very important. But I want to comment briefly on human freedom, which is the second value. I think as human beings, for us to fully express ourselves, or for us to fully develop, we need freedom. And we have seen that in most societies or most countries, this is not there. There are very few countries that you can see people can talk freely. There are also very few countries where you can see that people's rights are respected. But in most of these countries that we come from, we have seen that people's rights have been violated. People's freedoms have been denied. We have seen that. And most people have even succumbed to this kind of life. Most people have died. They've lost their lives because they want to be free. People have also lost their lives because their rights have not been granted. But as a human being, there are a lot of things that we are entitled to, that we are supposed to have. The right to a decent life. But if you look around, that is not what is happening. If you look around, that is not what is happening. People are miserable. People are miserable because they have been denied their rights, they have been denied their freedoms. And what I think people are doing is just survival. You just want to survive. You see? And I think that is not the kind of life that each of us or any human being is supposed to live. In the creative society, I envision a kind of life that gives us those freedoms, that gives us those rights that entails us to have what we need to sustain our life. The right to education, which is very important, the right to information, which I know most times is being denied us, and even health. People are dying because of lack of health facilities or even medicines, and yet this is a right that everyone is supposed to have. So the second value of the creative society, I think it's a very important value of human freedom that all of us are entitled to, and to enjoy the rights that we are supposed to enjoy as a human being. And that can only happen if the first value also, which is human life, is respected. If that is not done, then it is what we see now around us. There is no value for human life. I've seen that. You find somebody can just come up and you can even be arrested for what you say. You can be beaten for sometimes even putting on a cloth that aligns you to a particular group of people. You see, that kind of life, I think, is not what we are supposed to live. It derails us of our human value, and yet there's more to life than that. Another important value, maybe which I can also hit on a little, is information, the right to information, transparency. A lot of information has been diluted on social media, on media houses. A lot of information is diluted. People twist information according to what they want the public to get. And so you find there's a lot of misinformation out there. People are misled to do things that otherwise they will not do if they were rightly informed. And I think that in itself is a threat to human life. So as a human being, we are entitled to the right information, and transparency on a lot of levels. Transparency on the way society's resources have been used, which we see most times have been mismanaged. We talk about corruption. It is because there's no transparency. People hide their resources, and they want to personalize what otherwise would have been for society for the benefit of everyone. So those are the things that I think are very important when tackled, to see that we as humans enjoy life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Andrew, Habibu, and Shafiu. Such an amazing conversation. Now, I would like to ask all our dear guests to nominate someone, any of your friends, your colleagues, who they would like us to invite for our next program. Let's start with you, Habibu. Tell us who you would like to invite.
Ruby, your mic is off.
Habibu, we can't hear you. Andrew, would you like to nominate anyone to be part of our next
Valine?
broadcast?
Valine, can you hear me now? Valine, can you hear me now? Can you? Can you? I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I said, as usual, I don't get what Valine is saying. The communication from her side is really bad to me. So if someone heard her, please, repeat what she said to me.
He said, Habib said, would you want to invite somebody to join us in the next discussion?
Yes, I have someone that, okay. Yes, I have someone that I will contact, and he will be a very nice person. I will contact him. He will be part of us if you like it.
So much. Andrew, yes?
Yes, Valim, thank you. Yeah, I think there'll be people who will love to join us in this discussion. I'll invite them, definitely.
Is there anyone you'd like to invite the next broadcast to join us? So I'd like to thank everyone, all our guests, Andrew, Shafiu. It has been a pleasure to talk to you, to learn from you, and to see your ideas on the Creative Society. Thank you so much for being part of us, and thank you for keeping the Creative Society alive. Thank you for being creative members of your society. I'd like to thank you all and our dear viewers for your participation in our broadcast. If you or your friends would like to be at a future live conversation, please send an email to info@allatraunites.com. To join the creative project and of ALLATRA International Public Movement, please visit our website, allatraunites.com, where you'll see the red button, join. All you need to do is fill a really short and easy form. You can also explore additional information about the 8 foundations of the Creative Society and participate in conversations on ALLATRA Radio, and or send your ideas of Creative Society to ALLATRAUnites.com. Just 2 hashtags, hashtag Creative Society or hashtag ALLATRAUnites. Leave your comments below and join the 6 handshakes initiative. After all, the more people find out about the possibility of living in a creative society, the faster we can begin to happen. Thank you all very much, and we look forward to seeing you all again